So, let me take you back to 1997. The cricket world was shifting. Australia was just beginning its era of dominance. A well-oiled machine, led by McGrath's ruthless line, Vaughan's wicket turn, and a batting lineup that looked like a Marvel crossover. South Africa, on the other hand, was still climbing, hungry, talented, and armed with white lightning. No, not the drink your uncle hides at weddings. I'm talking about Allan Donald. The man bowled like he was late for a flight, and every batsman was standing in his way. This was the third test at Centurion, and Australia had already won the series 2-0. Job done, right? Well, not quite. Because Allan Donald wasn't playing for the scorecard anymore. He was playing for pride. And you know what they say about wounded pride? It bowls at 150 clicks an hour and knocks your stumps into next week. South Africa won the toss and chose to bowl first on a pretty good batting pitch. But this wasn't a tactical masterstroke. This was a Donald decision. I mean, when you have got a guy who makes the ball scream with every delivery, you don't wait, you unleash. First up, Matthew Elliott. Young, stylish, in form. But Donald didn't care. He banged one in short. Not too short, just that awkward. What do I do with this length? Elliott went for the pull, got a top edge, and boom. Schultz came charging in from the deep like a man late for his wedding and took a brilliant running catch. Gone. One down. And that was just the beginning. Next victim, Mark Waugh. A beautiful good-length ball. The kind you write poetry about if you're a sadistic fast bowler. Waugh shaped up to defend. But there was a gap between bat and pad wide enough to park a scooter. The ball zipped through and the off stump went cartwheeling. Then came Ian Healy. He bowled one on the pads. A nothing ball, really. But Healy went for the glance and nicked it. It was the faintest edge. I mean, you'd need a dog's ears and a sneakometer to hear it. Richardson died full stretch and pouched it beautifully. And guys, let me tell you, that wasn't just any wicket. That was Donald's 150th test wicket. And boy, he celebrated like he had just hit the jackpot at a casino. 3 wickets to Donald, and Australia were bundled out for 227. They had already won the series. But right now, they looked rattled because White Lightning had just rolled into Centurion and he wasn't done yet. And then, the Proteus batted. Oh, did they bat? Adam Backer set the tone with the classy 96. And then, skipper Hansi Cronje followed up with a punchy 79. Like he knew, he owed Donald something. Together, they took South Africa to a strong total of 384. Now to be fair, the only reason Australia weren't completely buried by then was because of one man, Glenn McGrath. He bowled like a grumpy librarian, quiet, accurate, and ready to punish anyone making noise. He took 6 wickets, including 3 of the top 4. But even McGrath couldn't stop what was coming next. Australia walked out 157 runs behind. But now, they weren't just facing a deficit. They were facing Donald in full beast mode. First up, Mark Taylor. Donald bowled one that kissed the surface and nipped away just enough to take the edge. Taylor poked at it, and Richardson flew to his left to take a brilliant diving catch. Gone. And with him, Australia's hopes of a solid start. Then, deja vu. Matthew Elliott again. Same guy, same bowler, same problem. This time, Donald bowled the perfect good length ball. Elliott tried to defend, but got an inside edge and the ball crashed into the stumps. Australia were now 28 for 3, wobbling like a toddler on ice. And then, oh boy, Greg blew it. He ran in and hurled a thunderbolt, a screaming, toe-crushing, bat-evading, logic-defying in-swinging yorker. Blewett was late, but the middle stump wasn't. It went flying like it had been shot out of a cannon. And honestly, that ball was so good, even Don Bradman would have walked back scratching his head and checking if his front pad was still there. After lunch, Shane Warne walked in, all swagger. But Donald wasn't in the mood. He steamed in, banged one in short of a length, and it jagged back sharply. Warne missed it completely. Bang. Plum LBW. He stood there for a moment, like someone confused why their card just got declined. But it was out. 164 for 8. And to wrap it up, in came Jason Gillespie. Tough guy. Could block for days if needed, but not today. Donald bowled yet another yorker. Gillespie tried to jam the bat down, but no. Missed it by a mile, and the off stump flew out like it had a plane to catch. Donald was laughing, Gillespie was confused, and everyone else was stunned. Australia were all out for 185, completely blown away. Donald finished with 5 for 36 in that second innings, making it 8 wickets in the match. And look, this wasn't just fire and fury. This was fast bowling at its purest. Donald wasn't spraying it around. He was hitting that awkward, questioning length over and over again. The one that makes you second guess everything. Footwork, timing, your whole life really. He was moving the ball just enough both ways, never giving the batsman a moment to breathe. Line and length, married with raw pace. That's a deadly combo. And Donald had it on a string. With a target of just 29 runs, South Africa chased it down with ease. A small chase, but a massive victory. The series still went to Australia 2-1. But that final test, it belonged to Donald. Man of the match, man of the moment, man possessed. What we saw that day wasn't just fast bowling. It was fast bowling with purpose. Allan Donald wasn't just out there to get wickets. He was out there to make a statement that South Africa wouldn't roll over, that white lightning still had bite, and that no matter how strong the opposition, one man could still light up the whole show. He may not have won the series, but Donald won respect. And sometimes, that's the more lasting victory. Because cricket is full of stats. Numbers come and go. But that middle stump cartwheeling out of the ground, that image, eternal. So guys, that's it for today's video. If you wish to look at how good was Jacques Kallis or ABD Villiers, click on the videos being displayed on your screen. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Until next time, keep watching this beautiful game. See you soon.